Well, I think that segues really well into Venus Doom because here...
That's one of my favorite albums.
Yeah? Heavier, gloomy, very inspired by tragedy. I mean, I feel like in this one you can hear a lot of pain in the record. And is this during the period where your battle with addiction has kind of hit its peak?
No, I was never... I just dabbled. I was never addicted. No. You know, a lot of friends drink a lot, and I was drinking a lot, and I think the trouble, you know, happened because I'd be working too much, drinking too much, and I had a relationship that went south at the same time.
Okay.
You know, that's regular stuff for a lot of people. You know, if you have a lot of negative stuff happening in your life at the same time, and you don't have the time to deal. You just have to wing it somehow and improvise and try to get to the next, hopefully a better day, and then you don't see the better day, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse, but you still have that little bit of optimism within you, so you just want to go forward. And you're running out of juice, and you don't know what to do. And to get that on an album is an achievement. So then I ended up in rehab afterwards.
Yes.
But but you know, it's, you know, I think the biggest fight was in my head, not with the bottle or not with anything else. You know, it's just a combination of circumstances. You know, the relationship thing. You know, people usually, you know, if relationships is important to you, and at the same time you have a job and you have a passion. You know, I was working in the music and we had to tour, and everybody's responsible. I'm responsible for the rest of the guys, and I wasn't feeling too good. And then at the same time was sadomasochistic enough to kind of like enjoy the moment because it was so real. So I was able to put all that into the music. But then, like, how deep do you want to cut the wound? You know, to
show,
to all of a sudden then realize that, you know, you have to call an ambulance. You know.
Is there ever a time where you think, I want to give all of my pain to these people, but you go a little too far, and you know, you've given so much of yourself that you feel like you don't have anything left?
No, there's always more where it came from. Yeah, I think that's an endless well.
Thing,
yeah. No. I think it's the same for everybody. You know, it's not about. It's about the, you know, it's about the mental flashing of sorts, of like just letting go. You know, just as you know, like psychologically saying things you've kept, you know, if you say them to a person, all of a sudden you feel so relieved.
Yeah.
It's the same with singing stuff to a person, or to kind of like singing to yourself, using the music or the album as a mirror.
Yeah.
Because if you keep thoughts in and you never like fully form them as sentences and fully form them as full formed ideas, you know, it's like playing with fire, sort of a thing.
Sure.
You know. We all have to dabble, and we all have to go a bit crazy and wild, and you know, what's not to love about? You know, we're all little pyromaniacs, all of us, more or less.
On to Screamworks.
Yeah.
Love in theory and practice. So you're out of rehab by this point. Did that experience change you or affect the way that the album sounded or its lyrical content?
Well, it made the process a bit different because I kind of like. Because that was the first album I've ever done sober, like fully sober. Not saying that all the albums before would have been done wholly under the influence, you know. But So they were like. But anyway, I took that as my main idea, you know, mentally how to get through it was to put all the energy I can to rehearsals, and we rehearsed so much more than we've ever had, and to a certain extent it was terrible, and to a certain extent it was really rewarding. But I think it wore a lot of guys out. Like Gas was having troubles with it because you have to remember that that was the time when Gas had the first kid, got married, I guess, and stuff, and everything happened at the same time. Then you're rehearsing tons and then traveling to the States to work and blah. It's you know, it's not just the rock for the guys in the band. So it was confusing times, I guess, but a couple of good songs. And then, for example, this song called Disarm Me, with Your Loneliness, I had written it like 2001, right after Razorblade Romance, but
really?
I never had it like finished. There was something missing, and so there was a couple of those songs I really enjoyed that we were able to, you know, put to bed, so to speak. Those old songs.
I think
have been around forever.
Yeah, I mean, Disarm Me, I heard recently that Bam Margera believes that song is about him.
Good for him. Why would I want to Bam Margera to disarm me with my? Come on now.
He thinks that it was about a past relationship of his that I guess you witnessed not go as well as he planned.
No, I think it was. No. I think he takes way too much credit. Things are more simple than they usually are, So I think it's a pretty straightforward love song. I loved Mazzy Star, who didn't when She Hangs Brightly and all that stuff came out.
I mean, throughout Screamworks, I mean, you can just hear a lot of heartbreak, I think, in that record, and you can.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, you get shows with Heart Killer, Scared to Death, and that lyric, I'm scared to death to fall in love with you. Tracks Dying Song, Love the Hardest Way. Do you feel like that was a album that was a more direct approach to heartbreak?
No, it's just, I think it was just maybe clearer in lyrics. It wasn't so hidden away, maybe. It was a bit more straightforward, which was because the music was a bit in your face as well. It was kind of like because it was the what was it called? The Venus Doom has this Mandarin kind of odd. How would I put it? Like this mystical aspect to it. It was hard to grasp, and it was kind of you couldn't really put your finger onto it. And then you easily, when you have toured an album like that, you don't want to do the same again. So you want to do something completely different. That was done at Screamworks. So we wanted to have it be kind of like ADD in your face and grab you by the throat all the time, 24/7, and that's why the lyrics are a bit more direct as well.